Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom. Welcome back to another Disney Lorcana video. We got a couple updates today. First and foremost, it looks like the Disney Lorcana will be at the Epcot Festival of the Arts here coming up, I believe, in February, which is really, really cool. Another example of Disney continuing to integrate Lorcana into the overall brand and the theme parks. In addition to that, some really, really cool new cards are going to be coming with it. What they're going to be doing, I guess, is very similar to what they did at Disneyland earlier this year, where you have the Collector's Quest events where you're kind of trading packs and completing a checklist. Once you complete said checklist, then you can go and get a promo from the Magical Places themed cards, which is really, really cool. Right now we have the Beast as well as the Belle. So these are our two current versions of these cards. Now, I personally don't own these cards. I did, or I haven't yet, but I'm going to buy them probably tonight because I don't have them yet. I've just kind of been waiting. Belle is used in the game, and so anytime I'm paying this type of price for a card that's currently in the meta, I never like to do it. But now that they're at least moving on to new promos, look, at $33, it's pretty much the lowest it's been. This is a decent enough chance for me to buy, whether it goes down or not. JJ's Card Emporium has 38 of them. Maybe I can reach out to them and make a deal. My goodness. But I will be buying this card as well as the Beast. Beast, much more affordable, down at $12. Both cards saw a couple sales here off the news. Someone bought 10. We had a couple other sales there. The Belle, once again, significantly more expensive, but still had several sales after the news of the new promos being announced through this Epcot Festival of the Arts deal. So overall, I like to see anytime Disney, the parent brand, is incorporating Lorcana into just any way they can, really. So just nice to see overall, right? More people are going to find out about Lorcana. People are going to go to this event that have no clue what Lorcana is. They've never heard of Lorcana. They're going to get enticed to do, some Collector's Quest. There's a photo opportunity where you go around the park, take photos with some oversized cards. Then you can earn a promo that way. So these people are going to kind of learn about Lorcana. They're going to get to touch and feel Lorcana. There's going to be an event, I think, to kind of like play or at least set up, etc. So they're just, this is a great way to get people who are already diehard fans of your brand associated with Lorcana, and once again get what is a fantastic game in their hands and see what they do with it. Once again, this is another version of them taking a collector focused. This whole event is centered around opening packs and trading with people, right? And then if you do that, you get these cards. Maybe they'll pull an enchanted, right? They can pull whatever. But then even at the end of that, you get a special promo card that's handed out at this specific event, which is really, really cool, right? That's a great way to get people who maybe they're like me. They don't have as much time to play a TCG or go to weekly league, but they maybe love to collect the game and they have family, whatever, right? And so it just makes a ton of sense. So kudos to Ravensburger and the team for getting this off the ground and getting this done. The cards themselves look awesome. So we have a Stitch Rockstar, we have a Rapunzel Appreciative Artist, and then we have a Donald Duck Pie Slinger. This one particularly popped out to me. This feels like it's not an alt art; it's the same art, but it does feel alt arty to me. Like, I don't really know how to say it. Like, it just feels like a completely different vibe. Now, maybe that's just because the digital renderings, but these cards look amazing. Rapunzel's probably my least favorite. I love the Rockstar Stitch. I will say it's not Nicholas Cole's art. It is a different artist there. And then I like the Donald Duck Pie Slinger a lot, but nevertheless, I like all three of them. I love that, once again, this is a very collector focused promo. It's a very collector focused event. It's deeper integration into the Disney brand. And so, and also just like at a higher level, one of the things that, when I started this Lorcana journey, knowing a lot about Pokemon and kind of coming from more of a Pokemon background, is there's a lot of depth with Pokemon because it's been around for 30 years. So whether you you can collect a certain species of Pokemon, you can collect a certain, maybe Black Star promos, or you can collect World Championship promos, or you can do, all these different art events they've done. Like there's just a ton of depth to the collecting of the game. And that makes it really exciting. You can set very defined goals. You can go about those goals because cards are constantly coming to market. And there's a lot to like about collecting Pokemon, right? Obviously, a lot of people do it. But them expanding like this particular, like the magical places promo indicator at the bottom and giving us a wider selection there. As people come into Lorcana, this is going to give them more to sink their teeth in, and they're going to be able to start learning about DLC promos, or D23 promos, Magical Place promos, Organized Play promos, movie release promos. And so it's starting to really get kind of some depth that maybe I don't appreciate as much as I would if I was new because I've been around. But it's just really, really cool to see because I think that as collectors, we always we're always looking at like what's next. And I think, once again, as more people come in, this is going to be great for them to go after. We're going to be up to 5 of these particular promos now. And then are they going to, move on to other sets of promos or enchanteds, etc.? There's a lot of different ways to collect Lorcana, and that's widening and widening after each release and each event. And so that's just exciting to see. And really that's the main part of today's video. I do want to talk about just a personal Lorcana thing that happened last night, but that's it for like the news, which I think is big, right? Like them continuing to do this and run these events, like it will move the needle for Lorcana. And this is why Lorcana is different, right? One Piece can't do this. League of Legends Riftbound can't do this. Pokemon could probably, do a variation of this to a certain extent. Like Magic can't do this, right? And while these other TCGs maybe are they've got more liquidity right now, their prices are flying up, products flying off the shelf. This is the stuff that builds like an actual fan base, right? And so that's what I love about Lorcana. There's this player element where thousands and thousands of people are ready to play the game at a moment's notice. They'll travel across the country. They'll travel across the world, right? To play the game. They've got these collectors that love the IP, love the game, ultimately are just collecting for the love of the game, collecting because not so much as the prices are going, up to infinity, like just people that love the cards are getting their hands on them, right? That's really, really cool. And I think that's going to lead to long-term success. Now, they've got to do a lot of other things. They need to fix the booster pack. There's hurdles there. But I think that just in terms of like growing an actual fan base that loves the game and the cards for what they are, I think that's going to lead to a lot more long-term success than people who are there only for the money. Now, as Lorcana grows, prices will go up, and there will be waves of people that come in because there's money, right? And that's going to come down to, do you have the time and the willpower to stick through those cycles and whatnot? They will come. It might not seem like it right now, but they will come. So yeah, I'm excited for that overall. And then moving to the personal story. So I mentioned the other day that I got the Gateway box. I bought the Palace Heist. I bought the Gateway. I bought the Ursula Deep Trouble quest box a while ago and played that with the wife for a little bit. She wasn't really that into it. But my daughter's just turned 7 a couple months ago, and she's in first grade. She's learning how to read. And so like, I just thought like it was time. I think on the Gateway box, it technically says 8 years or older. But it was like, whatever, let's just try it. So we opened it. We got everything set up. My daughter, she loves the cards. And it's funny. Last night I was trying to get her to like, we were trying to play the game, right? This was her first time ever playing Lorcana, apart from like, we've done some like, my 4 strength character challenges, your 3 strength character, like, and just kind of using it for like math purposes or using like matching. We've done a lot of matching games, things like that. We've never actually played a game of Lorcana. She doesn't know anything about questing, lore, etc. So we're setting up the game. She's going nuts over all the arts, and I was, once again, I was like frustrated for once. I'm like, okay, like I know the art's cool, like stop, like we need to actually learn how to play this game. So it's just funny, like switching gears and trying to get her to actually care about the game when she just wants to say how cool this Minnie Mouse card is or whatever, right? Which typically that's all I'm looking for, right? Like that's all the gratification I need to like continue to love and collect the hobby, or the game rather. But nevertheless, so we watched this video. If you haven't done the Gateway game, there's a barcode that you scan or a QR code that you scan. And that takes you to a video that kind of simulates the first 3 rounds of your first gateway game. So it gives you step-by-step instructions for each player. You follow them, and it kind of gets you into your first game of Lorcana. Very, very well designed. Very clear. Ravensburger kind of flexing those tabletop game skills that they have, that they've been doing for such a long time. Very well made video. Very clear directions. Packaging, fantastic, right? 10 out of 10 on all of that. What I noticed with the video that was very interesting, the game itself, it went great. I let my daughter win. She had a great time playing her first game. Took a while. Took probably about 30 to 45 minutes. You have to remind her to unexert your ink and draw your card, and she just wants to play these pretty cards, or she for whatever she doesn't like Webby. She kept like, can I inkless? Can I inkless? Like, she just was not a fan of old Webby. But nevertheless, we had a great time. She won. But I was looking at the views on that video, and this video is just very simply like how to play Disney Lorcana Gateway. Like, there would be no reason for anyone to watch this video. It's like a 9 or 10 minute video, except for if they were playing, the Gateway product. And it had over 50,000 views. It's like a year old. I don't even think it's a year old yet. And it had over 50,000 views of just like a how to play the game video. And this is a very introductory, basic, this is the gateway to learn how to play Lorcana. And I just thought that was very impressive in terms of just the sheer volume. And it kind of solidifies the idea of like Lorcana that has this like massive family, just like family game night vibe, tabletop vibe that's kind of like, maybe you don't see those people online. Maybe they're not collecting as much right now. Maybe they don't have YouTube channels. Maybe they're not online talking about it. But like this idea that there's this massive kind of just like family game night culture that's happening with Lorcana. I think that I've always thought that was real to a certain extent. But seeing how many views this video had just kind of put it into perspective that, maybe 50,000 different families have sat down to play Lorcana just over the last 9 months or however long that product's been out, was really, really cool to think about. And I hope that that's the case, right? And there's nothing nefarious going on with the views or anything. I don't think there is. But yeah, I was blown away that it was that much. And so it was cool to see. So lots of people are doing that. Obviously, we're going to continue to get more and more people into the game through these things like the Epcot event and whatnot. So just thought it was really cool and wanted to share. We had, the first game went really, really good. My daughter for sure wanted to keep playing, but her brother was already in bed, and they have bunk beds. So he was wondering where she was at because she got to stay up late and play with me. So yeah, we stayed up late. More games to come for sure in the future. She was having a lot of fun, and it was great. Like I said, we've played with the cards a ton, opened a bunch of packs. She's got her binder, right? We've done all the collecting stuff, but it was nice to just to kind of get her into the game. And obviously, she's 7. This will hopefully evolve, and she'll fall in love with it like I have. But nevertheless, it's fun to collect if nothing else. But it definitely would be really cool to play with her. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate you all, and we'll be back with another video soon. Goodbye.